Anything digital, those jobs are in risk,
Oh,
right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, like we
AI can do it in
started
lightning speed.
what ChatGPT like kind of like came out like 2 years ago, maybe like 2023-ish was like when it started to get launched.
Yeah.
And look at what you can do on it. I use it for Google basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's look at this. So my family uses it that way. How do
My
you
wife
just get
uses it.
information and data that much faster? I don't have to
Yeah.
type into Google, what is
No,
this situation? And then it gives
yeah.
me the ads and it gives me
No,
all the things
you get
around
the
it. I can
answer
just ask
instantly,
ChatGPT and it comes up with the unfiltered responses. And you always have to double check it, but
of course.
it just gets a high level thing back to you so much faster.
My wife talks to it every single day. It's her best friend.
I have it up right on my screen right now. I have you up, my email and ChatGPT. I think it's
It's
probably the
amazing.
first thing I log into.
Austin, tell me a little bit about yourself. Quick origin story. How did Inventure get rolling?
Yeah, so I started here at Inventure in 2018, but really this company started back in 2008, really with my business partner Doug Bozer. So he had a construction company that he built and grew in central Minnesota, sold it in 2017, but kind of in the background was always still helping clients get into new buildings, even though maybe they didn't want to own it, right? So he would develop them, construct them, and then own them in the end, really. And he kind of got his kick into owning assets started in '08, and then really started to grow all the way through. And then when he sold his company called Boulder Construction at that time, he then went into just full commercial real estate development, right? So he had a couple staff members at that point, and then I came in 2018 after graduating from St. Cloud State University here in Minnesota. And from that point, really, we just started growing the portfolio. I started just helping with some development projects, helping leasing, and as we continue to grow, we started to launch our brokerage in 2020, which, as everyone knows, is a great time to start a brokerage, right?
Yeah, right.
But it was really just an augment to stuff that we were already doing, trying to find more clients, get in front of more clients to really do what we do best, which is helping the client get into new real estate, helping them with their owner's representation, which we'll get into a little bit later. But it was really just our augment to slowly get to that point. If we look at 2020 to compare to 2024 and now 2025, we've really launched more of our full service investment platform. So in the past, we had always done things more friends and family, 1 to 2 partners in projects, and just slowly grew that way. As we got older, we found more investors. People liked what we were doing. So we started to get into more complicated stuff. So we started to create funds with Delaware State Statutory State Trust and started to grow more of our outside network of investors to find bigger assets and to grow that portfolio, because really our growth has always been around growing the portfolio, finding investors, finding tenants. But in the end, it's always correlated with the portfolio growth and the investor growth, right? As we did that, we're now sitting here probably about $185 million of assets under management, approximately.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Just kicked off a hotel development that we're doing up here in Sartell, Minnesota. We're based in St. Cloud, which is central Minnesota, but we do projects all the way across the state and have recently gotten into doing stuff in Wisconsin. We're looking at projects in Omaha and also in Sioux Falls right now with some partners that we've met up there. But that's kind of been really our growth origin to today. And we have other things that we're continuing to build that we'll get into as there's exciting stuff coming up that I like. And that's why these podcasts are so intriguing to me, because I want to help create something that's different and better than what's currently being done in commercial real estate, right? It's the old correlated, you have to know everyone to do anything. You got to spend your time into it. But in the end, I think some business owners don't get the maybe respect or the help or the guidance that they really should get. And that's what we're trying to help educate with our experience and my business partner's experience that he has in the industry.
That's absolutely incredible. So your core focus today is acquisitions, development, leasing, operations. Tell me a little
Yeah,
bit.
you got it. So like our main, I'll call it nucleus or ecosystem, is built around portfolio, investors in portfolio, and then we're vertically integrated all the way through. So we have our own property management division. We have our own construction division. We do development. We do facilities or general maintenance type work for assets that are close enough. We will do our own brokerage where it makes sense. We do our own asset management. So we fully take care of the investor from the start to the finish. Because really, our mission at Inventure is to help our clients generate wealth through commercial real estate. It's just that simple, right? Whether it's an investor, a business partner, a client, a business owner, whoever it is, the wealth story can be different, but it's still about generating wealth through real estate, whether it's for their business, for their family, whatever it might be.
Incredible, incredible. So, what's your proudest project so far? What made it a win?
So we have a couple of them. I would say last year in 2024, we bought an office building that was 65% occupied. We were
Nice,
able to hit our business plan, and today we sit at that asset being around 95% occupied.
fantastic,
And we were able to hit that in about 3 months. So that was
nice.
probably the biggest one that we've had so far. We had a lot of them, right? Especially as we deal with tenants and helping business owners through their construction projects and stuff like that. So the wins are all over the board, but that's one that's pretty recent
Nice.
overall for us.
Excellent. What are the asset classes that you guys are really mainly focused on?
Pretty much anything just commercial, right? So we don't touch multifamily, but we've done some industrial. We do some institutional, so schools. We own some retail. Obviously, we own office. It just kind of depends where the opportunity is,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. We're more of an opportunity type investment company. We don't take the huge risks, but we look for the opportunity with the right risk profile.
Multifamily. No multifamily at all. Stay away from
No,
that. Why is
we
that?
don't touch it. My business partner grew his construction company through only commercial construction. He's always owned only commercial real estate, and we've kind of stayed true to that model. Kind of one of
Nice.
those things, stay in your lane. We've helped do owners rep projects, help construct those types of buildings, but we don't own any, we don't manage any, and we're going to keep it that way.
Storage facilities? No?
As of today, we don't. We've looked at a few. We might try to get into some luxury type storage
Sure.
with a few pieces of land that we own.
Sure.
But we haven't got into it crazy like I know a lot of groups have.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my business partner and I were really focused on the storage facilities.
Yeah,
Great asset class, super simple. One guy can run the whole entire thing, print
yeah.
money.
Those are always good. Those are always good.
Right.
It's a whole team approach, right? But
For
yeah, I
sure.
know we're looking at a set of something like that with a big business park that we own that we developed.
Yep.
And think it'd be a good augment to that
Yeah,
park.
absolutely.
But
Yeah, we have a few other asset classes too. We don't mind mobile home parks or RV parks are pretty appealing right now. They're up and coming.
yep.
We will do some retail also. We love to get into that. Office space isn't bad for us. White industrial warehouses
hmm
is pretty good. That's also a pretty good asset class for us.
They're all pretty good if you can find if you know how to operate them. You can find the right deal. You win on
100%.
the buy side, right? If you can't buy it right, you lose. If you can find something good that you kind of understand that you can buy right, you're going to win in the long term.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Austin, let's talk a little bit about your 6 to 12 month goals. So, looking at the next 6 to 12 months, what are your top 2 to 3 goals?
So a couple of our top goals is to complete $40 million of acquisitions in the next 12 months at a minimum.
Nice.
Our real goal is to be hitting $100 million of acquisitions or development projects in every single year. But as we grow and we scale that platform, we want to get to a spot where we have 40 every single year, ongoing basis. And with the projects we already have in the pipeline, we should be able to hit that pretty steadily, ongoing, which is good. And it just allows for better investments for our investors and for our team to work through. So that's probably one. And then our second goal is really kicking off this next product that we have that we're trying to that we're building with our background and looking to scale it. That's probably the number one goal that we really have
Mm,
besides this other stuff that we're doing to really look at how do we help investors or more or less business, how do we help business owners get the advice, get the scalability, but not have to deal with brokers or contractors directly. As we all know, business owners, myself included, we have so much time in a day before it gets to family, friends, weekends, everything else. So how do you keep track of everything, right? It's impossible.
100%.
Let alone if you own your business, right, and you're in a 15,000 square foot building, and you guys need to move, right? Who does that? Who stops their day job and goes in the next product to go find the land, find the building, construct the building, deal with the architect, deal with the city, do all those things? Who has the time for it? The answer is nobody should. People try, but they shouldn't because all they do is lose revenue, usually on the other side. So through our owner's rep that we do today, right, which is owner's rep is just a fancy word for an owner working on behalf of a business owner to manage their and do their construction project, right? So this is something that we've done kind of on the sidelines, but never really forwardly pushed it out to the masses.
Okay.
We've worked on some, some good projects with a local manufacturing plant, but that's based out of a different country. We've worked on a few smaller projects. We've worked on some hospital type work with some larger groups as well and smaller groups. But now we really want to go forward facing with it and create a product that can help from different avenues, right? So the main piece being the owner's rep through the full thing where we manage it from helping you find the architect to the contractor to the civil to working through entitlements, design, the construction phase, through the whole process. So you don't have to take time away from your day job, and you can be flying your plane at 60,000 feet, right? And then we can be down here dealing with all the stuff, and you can make decisions with us helping get you information, and you can just stay that way so you can operate your business.
Love it.
So that's the main thing that we're really trying to go. But we're also looking at how do we do that and help business owners at scale through the US, right? Because that product is something that we can do really well in the Midwest, but it still takes time on the boots on the ground to some degree. So we're also then looking at building another product that in a service that we can provide to others in this community, but also whether you're in Nebraska to LA to New York to Texas, and you're a business and you're like, okay, what are my options? Really don't want to hire a broker because I don't know what I want yet. I also don't know how to hire a broker. I don't know what my construction looks like. So how about we take a look at your lease or whatever your current building you own? We can dissect it, learn about it, understand it, and then give you a delivery process, which in the end, you end up with a deliverable that allows you to make a decision on, okay, this is what it looks like to stay. This is what it looks like to lease somewhere else. And this is what it looks like to build based on whatever your goals are, of course. It could kind of change, but through a 3-week process, we come up with this end solution that I then meet with you and we sit down, we go through the deliverable, what we found out, what the information is. These are kind of your options. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay where you're at? You kind of put it on the shelf and you kind of renew or whatever it is. Do you want to look at expanding your current building? Do you want to look at leasing a new building? And then we can take the next step and help you with those things, right? We wouldn't be brokers in those communities, but we can help you find other brokers in those communities that we've interviewed and can put together. We can do the same with construction. We can do the same with all these different things to allow you as a business owner to make the best decision for your business, your family, your employees, and everyone else, because our goal is to help you generate wealth through real estate, right?
Absolutely.
So that's really the new product that we're starting to launch right now. That we're putting together the finishing touches, and we're excited to hopefully bring it forward here in the next coming couple weeks here.
That's exciting. That's awesome. I love what you're doing. Fantastic. That's very innovative and next level for sure. If we were to high five in a year, right, Austin, what happened? What great sites or faster lease up, or would it be better margins? What would happen if we were to high five in a year?
We high five in a year. We've worked with 40 to 50 new business owners that we haven't worked with in the past to do
Awesome.
exactly what we just talked about, right?
Awesome. Awesome.
We have the success stories where we were able to save them money, get them into new spaces, and now they're generating more wealth through the real estate. And potentially those people could become our investors someday, right? So you can see how that cycle continues to go. And that's how, I mean, with AI and everything else going on, that's how you can get data faster. You could provide the service at a reasonable cost where it's not like you need 15 analysts trying to figure out this stuff and put everything together. With software and solutions out there now, everything is just so much faster if people know how to use it.
Nice. Nice. So what needs to be true for that to succeed? Would it be people, capital, speed, systems? What needs to happen in order for?
For us, it's a lead thing. We've never had issues when we have customers come to us through referrals or whatever it may be. And those are usually people who somewhat know us in the community, but it's always been for us a lead thing. We've never outwardly marketed. We've never done a Google ad. We've never really looked at our SEO. We've never created a funnel. We've never really outwardly pushed our marketing.
Okay.
For one, because in this industry, it's not impossible, but it's almost near impossible to figure out what your ROI is,
Hmm,
right? How do I figure out what my ROI is of an investor? How do I figure out what my ROI is on a brokerage client that I don't know if the deal is going to close for 6 to 9 months?
correct.
So that's where how do you create services that you can actually do that so that then you can provide this service to people out in the community.
Nice. So you're talking about deal flow. That's one of your bottlenecks, I suppose. So what's still slow or manual right now? Because we're here talking a little bit more about AI and AI systems and automations. So what's really slow right now and manual right now? Is it we just talked about finding deals, right? How about underwriting or proposals or
Mhm.
lender packages or construction updates or attendant? No, I mean, right now, what is manual for you right now?
Yeah. So right now, we're in the process of going through exactly that thought process. So today, manual spreadsheets, right? So whether it's underwriting or ongoing cash flow projections or getting the data, the investor packages put together for today, we do quarterly reports. I want to do monthly reports because I think data is the number one provider in the world right now. If you can't provide data at a click of a finger, you're behind the eight ball. And so you got to be in front of it because today's day, business owner and investor expects things right now. And that's what we have to expect of ourselves. So those things, like you said, lender packages are definitely still that way up today. In our company, some of our software is still pretty manual because we're on older software. Some marketing packages, of course, are pretty manual. Those are probably the main things, but they all have solutions for it too.
Of course, of course. Yeah, that's weaves in my next question is, what do files and data, where do files and data live today, right? Are broker emails, spreadsheets, models all over the place, or are they in one hub?
Yeah, today for us, we use BuildOut, so that's a software company. So I think we started working with BuildOut in like 2021, so we were pretty early to them getting announced in the brokerage community. So that's kind of helped us stay a little bit ahead of the curve in some degree from a marketing package. But I remember when I started, it was using Bluebeam, which is a PDF editor, to create leasing proposals and to create brochures and presentations. I look back to that to even to where we're at today, and we're not even fully integrated in a lot of things. It's just mind boggling how much different it is and how much faster things are.
Absolutely. Totally night and day from what it used to be to where it is today, especially with new automations that are coming out, right?
Hmm.
Some of the things that we can do is absolutely incredible. If you can make one process 2 times faster this quarter, which would you pick?
So it's going to be our property management software. The next quarter, we're going down the road of making a finalization of our software change to really go from, I'll call it old prehistoric to the new day and age property management, investor relations, forecast management, all that type of stuff all into one package so that we can do a lot of the things that I said we do in spreadsheets, whether it's property management, reporting, investor packages, cash flow projections, all of it I can just do so much faster through automation, right? And by using the softwares for their fullest capabilities these days. And that's just really easy stuff, right? That's kind of like a low hanging fruit for anyone, but that's the biggest one that we have on our mind right now. Because I want my team to be focused on high level thinking. I don't want them in the
100%.
nitty gritty of like doing all the work. And same for myself.
I think Elon Musk said it just the other day. He was on the podcast with Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm not quite there yet, Austin, but working on it,
Hey, you're
right?
gonna get there.
That's awesome. But Elon was like, what jobs are going to be safe is what the question was, right? Or what jobs are going to be taken from AI. And he
Yep.
said it best. He said, listen, if anything is digital, AI can do it in lightning speed. So anything that you're doing as digital can be done in lightning speed. Whereas if you're moving atoms, that's how Elon would talk, right? That's the way he would talk. So he said, if you're moving atoms, like if you're cooking or if you're a farmer or if you're doing type of construction or moving anything, using your hands to build, right? Those jobs will be safe for the time being. But anything digital, man, they can be automated. We actually say that what we are able to do with businesses like yourself and other businesses, we can automate probably 65 to 70% of what you're currently doing because a lot of that stuff is, like you said, manual. So, yeah, you have a question?
No, what do you guys see for AI for right now? Maybe I'm going to ask you a question backwards of what are the things you guys are seeing groups implement that make the biggest effect,
Yeah,
especially somebody
huge.
in the commercial real estate industry?
Yeah, huge. Absolutely. Deal flow for sure. We can definitely do acquisitions. If for people who are looking for dispositions, we can also do that part also. We can do any type of lead generation. We also are able to implement any type of dashboard. So all of your accounting software and everything that you're doing manually can also be done automatically. We find more and more things about you. And the more I'm able to learn more about your business, I go to my developers. So I'm not the AI developer. We have an in-house team of an army of developers that literally go and they are able to try to figure out exactly what type of systems and processes you're able to help you with in the long run. So one second. We are able to come back to you with exactly what we talk about and how we're able to try to implement some of those things. So what numbers mean the most to you? Is it time to evaluate a deal? Is it hit rate or LOIs or lease up speed or change in delays, collections, tenant response time? What are some of the numbers that mean the most to you?
Yeah, I think from an investor standpoint, our portfolio, it's really our cash on cash returns.
Cash on cash?
That's the really only thing I care about, right? Because that
Yeah, of
leads to
course.
everything. If my cash and cash returns aren't right, I'm probably not collecting rents right. I'm probably not, managing the facility good enough. I'm probably not doing a lot of things really well. But if my cash and cashes are right and good, and I'm, forward looking from a management perspective, we're doing well for investors, and that's the biggest thing that we care about. We don't care about IRRs or I'll call it fake looking returns. We care about just what's the cash that the investor is making based upon the cash they put in. And if they're hitting the metrics that I said they were going to, then that's a win. If they're not, we got to figure out how to get out of that. And you definitely have those projects, right? Not everyone is perfect, but you do your best to make sure you manage to it and put together the right team to be able to take care of it for the investors who have their hard-earned cash into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cash on cash is super important for us also. Do you have a number that you like to see in order to make a deal worthwhile?
Yeah, it depends on the deal, right? And how skinny it really is. But in general, we want to be over 10% in everything that we do.
Of
Uh,
course.
that's not right. It might not be right away, but it might be over a couple of years after lease up is done or something along those lines. But once we're stabilized, we want to be well over 10%
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
generally what we look for.
We actually go a little more aggressive. We're 12 to 15%.
Hmm.
We know that if it's cash flowing to, 15 or 12%,
Yep.
that's a pretty good deal for us. But they're hard to find. They're hard to find, right, Austin?
No, they're totally hard to find, and it depends on the asset class, right? Like,
Of
if
course.
I'm looking for a good industrial product, it's gonna be tough to make those cash and cashes work based upon, the market today. Office, I will always be at 15 plus, right? I just have to be
Yeah,
because it's the
absolutely.
only thing that makes sense, and you can buy it that way, which is helpful. So, it just depends on the sector and what type of deal you're really looking for, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We help companies do their underwriting also, where it can be
Mhm.
completely automated with AI, which is amazing because I know in the past, our underwriters would take weeks, to underwrite a deal if it was truly a deep dive, right?
Yep.
I mean, you could probably underwrite a deal within, depends, back of the napkin, you could do it pretty quickly, right? But if you really deep
Yeah,
dive
heck,
into it,
a lot. Yeah, it's the deep dive, right? Is where you have a team, and then you bring their expertise in to help get 80% of the way, right? So you can finish the 20. But yeah, I mean, as you get into large scale, right, and you want to do 10 a week or something,
yeah,
then you definitely have to do that. But I mean, a lot of the product that we look at, in our market, right? We usually only buy Midwest, so we kind of generally know the market, especially in
Sure.
like the Minnesota stuff.
Sure.
We can usually look at an OM and decide if we're even going to spend 5 minutes on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You can tell right away. Yeah. With a single live dashboard showing pipeline, underwriting status, project health, help to steer the ship in the right direction or steer it faster.
yeah, no, those things definitely do help, right?
Yeah.
Especially as we grow and scale, they'll definitely become more prevalent. We use some stuff from a CRM perspective, but a lot of it ends up being spreadsheets. But yeah, I mean, as we continue to grow, those are the types of products, right, that you add in, so you can, as a business owner, look at what everyone's doing while you're not there and while you're doing something else, right? You could be in and out of meetings, be in and out of podcasts, right, and look at my dashboard and be like, okay, yep, my team's got all the things as far as they're supposed to be for right now, and there's no issues, or there is an issue. Let me jump on a call for 5 minutes before I jump into the next thing.
Absolutely.
That's where, again, as business owners, the biggest thing these days is data. How fast can
100%.
I get it so I can be out front meeting with people like yourself or anybody else to be able to continue to spread the word to grow the business instead of be working in the grind inside of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. The more that we can automate, the more, I mean, we're here to save your time, right? So you can save your time in order to do some more high level stuff that you probably don't need to do automation, some of the manual things that you're doing. And, in a sense, you can, end up bringing a lot more revenue into the business, right? By not having to do that manual labor. If you don't fix these slow spots that we just talked about, right? What's the cost? Like mixed sites or missed opportunities or higher carrying costs or slower velocity. What's the cost if you don't fix some of these things?
I think it can be people, right? So it can be too many staff, but it could also be not giving the top 20% of your staff enough opportunities
Sure.
to grow. So they go somewhere else that's already doing it.
Yeah.
And then obviously lots of opportunities from potential deals out there to you name it. I mean, the opportunities are kind of endless of how much you could lose with it, but they're also the same token of like, how do you effectively do it? Because if you also don't know how to manage it or you can't manage it properly, you just kind of wasting time and money.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. What type of staff do you currently have, Austin?
We have 22 staff members
Nice.
besides my business partner and I. Again, we're a county heavy department, right? So property management and the 180 million of assets we have under management, it's a county heavy.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
we need software to help us, right? So like we don't have to add people as we scale, but we can use software as the employee.
Do the people answer phones? Do you have a receptionist?
Yep.
Yeah. We actually have an AI receptionist also, which I don't know if you've seen some of the capabilities of that, what they can do, but it's available 24/7.
Hmm.
You don't have to, it doesn't go away, it doesn't go home at, 9 to 5. It goes home afterwards, right? Because
Yep.
it's there to answer the calls. And it can actually take multiple phone calls at one time, which is pretty amazing. So
It's gonna be really interesting in the next not even years, I would say less than a year to
I agree.
see where AI goes.
It's incredible. Yeah.
It's really endless, right? It's developers are figuring it out more and more, and they're just kind of working their way out to jobs essentially. Because at some point, AI will be able to develop the development, which seems counterintuitive, but I truly think that's where it's going to go.
It's wild.
But it's just growing so fast that I mean, I look at,
Anything digital, anything digital, those jobs are in risk, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, like we
AI can do it at
started
lightning speed.
what ChatGPT like kind of like came out like 2 years ago, maybe like 2023 ish was like when it started to get launched.
Yeah.
And look at what you can do on it today. I mean, I use it for Google basically.
Yeah. 100%.
Let's look at this, right? My family uses it that way. Like, how do
My
you
wife
just get
uses it.
information and data that much faster? Well, I mean, I don't have to
Yeah.
type into Google, what is
No.
this situation, right? And then it gives
Yeah.
me the ads and it gives me
No,
all the things
you get
around
the
it. I can
answer
just ask
instantly.
ChatGPT and it comes up with the unfiltered responses. And yeah, sometimes you got, I mean, not sometimes,
Sure.
you always have to double check it, but
Of course.
it just gets a high level thing back to you so much faster.
My wife talks to it every single day. It's her best friend.
I have it up right on my screen right now. I have you up, my email and ChatGPT. I think it's
It's
probably the
amazing.
first thing I log into.
You have to. You have to, right?
Especially as you grow, like I look at all the things out there. Like I saw something the other day about like the online coaching people that are out there. If people are smart, like ChatGPT will, or AI in general, will get rid of a lot of that industry because it's all going to be online, right? And if you know how to use ChatGPT or AI, what do you need a coach for? Besides like the personal touch, right? Like obviously,
That's it. That's exactly the
but
answer.
like you're looking at business structures or you're looking at different things, right? You can get 60% of the way there. And then sure, then you hire the consultant to finish it,
Of
but
course.
you know what you're looking for.
So I guess the only thing that AI can't really do is the human touch, right? It's the
100%.
emotions. It's the emotions, it's the human touch. It's not human, right? So it doesn't have the emotional portion of it. So
No, it just helps us create the product, right? So like
yeah,
we
yeah.
can, I mean, you look at sales cycles, right? I mean, sales cycles back in the day, like I look at my business partner, cups of coffee,
Yep.
handshakes,
Yep.
meetings in person, all night, all day, right? All those kinds of things. Today, what is a sales cycle? It's something from Facebook to a click to watch a video to go over something to
Yeah.
then buy a product
Yep.
or to schedule a meeting to buy a product. But by the time you schedule a meeting, you've already watched an hour worth of content and know what it's all about. Like I look at our sales cycle, right? It takes owner's rep is like, it's at least an hour meeting plus some information plus another meeting just to kind of get to know us before you can like offer a sale.
Of course.
Well, if you build a funnel right and you can get like yourself talking about AI and how you guys integrate and how that stuff works, they get to know you and the company on a webinar or on something where they have to go through first. Well, that saves you how much time, right? You don't have to have 150-hour meetings to get to 10 sales.
We automate our entire funnel. Our entire funnel is completely automated where we're not doing any of it. AI has completely done all of it. So lead generation is now completely automated.
And how many leads do you guys get a month through AI lead funnels?
Hundreds,
Yeah. And think before you had it, I mean, how much would a marketing company cost to do that today?
thousands,
At least.
tens of thousands.
Yeah. And you can do it by
Just
setting it up right
automated.
and then turning it
Yep.
on.
Just turn it on and it's completely automated. It's incredible. So yeah, I mean that's the future, right?
It is
So
the future. You'll have to teach me about that one.
my question to you, Justin, is how urgent is this? Is it now or is it later?
I think with AI, it's now. I
It
think
has to be.
everyone is too late.
It has to be.
You're in
Yeah.
AI, and I think you're still probably too late. Everyone is too late. You got to get it integrated right now. You got to figure out the ways to make it work for your whole team, and you have to just use it because otherwise you'll get taken over. It's one of those things like you always hear the things you're not growing, you're dying. Well, if you're not growing, you're dying.